Hi guys! Welcome back. So when I was just starting out, I remember telling my very close friends na magyumaman ako, yung definition ko lang ng financial freedom or financial independence is kapag nakakita ako ng masarap na pagkain or gusto kong kumain sa restaurant, makakakain ako without looking at the price. Ganun lang kasimple yung definition ko ng pagiging mayaman. Sa context ng Pilipinas, pag pinag-uusapan natin yung level ng pera or level ng income, usually may 3 categories lang tayo. Ito ay mayaman, middle class, saka mahirap. But today, we will try to debunk these categories and provide a convenient way of distinguishing between different levels of financial statuses. Makakatulong din ito para ma-realize natin that true financial freedom or true financial independence is a journey that happens slowly and in stages. We are all born into different stages. That means merong mga tao na ipinanganak in the middle class family, merong pinanganak sa mas swerteng pamilya o yung mas may kayang pamilya. Kaya naman meron silang head start sa kanilang financial journey. Pero unfortunately, for some of us, merong mga tao na makaka-experience ng pag-stay or pagiging stagnant sa isang stage lang. Maraming factors that come into play and dictate how long or how short you'll stay in a certain stage. Pero marirealize mo rin na it takes some level of effort for you to move from one stage to the next until you finally achieve financial freedom. Tapos, over time, mag-evolve din yung definition mo of what financial freedom is for yourself, and that's okay. That's progress. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, what you value at this very moment might change. No, actually, it will change after a few months and after a few years. And honestly, I'd be worried if yung priorities ko or yung mga things that I value will not change or will not shuffle man lang in priority list. Kasi that means I am not growing as a person. I am stagnant as a person. So, without further ado, let's stop being stagnant and discuss the 5 levels of financial freedom. Let's go! The first stage in financial freedom is survival mode. Ito yung stage where you are living paycheck to paycheck and very dependent ka sa salary mo every month. Sabi nga ng mga matatanda, ito raw yung isang kahig isang tuka. You are able to pay for your bills and your monthly groceries and maybe provide some entertainment for yourself. Pero wala kang direction, hindi ka protected in case an emergency happens. Pag nagkaroon ng financial emergency or pangangailangan ng pera, wala kang mahuhugot kasi nagka-cancel out lang yung income mo saka yung expenses. So there's no wiggle room. Also, in the survival mode stage, negative yung net worth mo kasi your assets are less than your liabilities. You are able to pay off your bad debt every month, like credit card bills, pero that's not enough for you to pay the whole thing. Kaya naman, your net worth stays below zero. Your assets stay below zero. Typical first stage lang ito para sa mga young professionals na fresh out of college. Super duper excited nila kasi for the first time in their life, kumikita sila ng pera. And because they have no idea what to do with money except spend it, the only thing that they can look forward to is spend it on a new gadget or spend it on a Friday night hangout kasi nakasanayan nila nung college. Which is okay din naman. You are entitled to spend your money however you like kasi sa'yo yan and pinaghirapan mo yan. Yun nga lang, these activities will not help you get out of the negative net worth status and they will not decrease your liabilities. They will not increase your assets. So, if nasa survival mode stage ka, what you can do is try these 2 things. First, increase your income and or decrease your expenses. Pag ginawa mo to, this will help you free up some cash that you can use to pay off your bad debt and decrease your liabilities. And then later on, you can use this free cash to build up your assets. So kung gusto mo makawala sa stage na to, suggest ko lang na pwede mong gawin as a first step is list out all of your expenses. From smaller expenses like kikiam or fishball sa kanto, and also pamasahe sa jeep, sa tricycle, until the bigger expenses like payment para sa electricity bills or groceries, isasama natin lahat yan. Check out this video if you want more ideas on how to be more aware of your impulse purchases. So yung next stage in being financially free is discipline. In this stage, you are able to save a little bit every month and you are no longer living paycheck to paycheck. Hindi mo na rin sinasagad yung salary mo, so your expenses are a little bit less than your income. So you are able to pay off your credit card debt, hindi lang yung minimum. Your net worth is still probably negative, but in this stage, you are on your way to increasing your net worth by decreasing your liabilities and slowly building up your assets. When you are on this stage, may pagmayabang ka na sa sarili mo dahil may napupuntahan yung pinaghihirapan mo sa work. Hindi ka na rin as susceptible or vulnerable to impulse purchases like nung nandun ka pa sa survival mode stage. You still indulge yourself once in a while, pero this is only after magbayad ka ng expenses and other financial responsibilities. I usually highlight in this channel na before ka mag-start ng any kind of investment, make sure na wala ka munang debt or utang. Bakit? Kasi kahit malaki na yung profits mo from investments, there's a good chance pa rin na it could be wiped out by the interest from your debt. Crippling debt starts very small and very slowly, but quickly ramps up and accelerates into a snowball effect. Sa simula, hindi mo agad mapapansin, pero if pinabayaan mo lang na mag-accumulate, sooner or later, it will catch up and sobrang struggle na habulin yan. If you are in the discipline stage, and then for any reason na walang ka ng trabaho, then you'll still be able to live off of your savings for a few months. Obviously, that's not enough unless plan mong mabuhay lang hanggang September. Di go, I guess. Bahala ka dyan. Pero if plan mo naman is mabuhay pa ng matagal and retire early like what I plan to do with my career, then we should not be comfortable in staying in this stage. Typically, yung mga nasa discipline stage ay nagwo-work na for a few years, so most likely nabigyan ka na ng multiple pay raises over the course of your career. So if this is true for you, then you need to be careful about what we call lifestyle inflation. Ito yung phenomenon or concept na just because nag-increase yung salary mo, meron kang feeling of entitlement na meron kang kakayahan or karapatan or ability to increase also your spending. Dati sa karinderya ka lang kumakain, ngayon sa fast food na. Dati sumasabit ka lang sa jeep, ngayon nagtataxi ka na. Dati 8 Mbps lang yung wifi mo sa bahay, pero ngayon naka-postpaid plan ka na sa cellphone mo kahit nasa bahay ka lang naman kasi work from home? What? So ito yung mga example ng lifestyle inflation kung saan pwede tayo mag-re-evaluate. The idea is not to deprive yourself. Ang point lang natin is if gusto mo talaga ma-accelerate ang journey mo towards financial freedom, you need to be aware na kung comfortable ka naman noon sa maliit na sweldo, then maybe you don't need to upgrade every aspect of your lifestyle today. So the third stage in our financial freedom journey is momentum. To reach this stage, what you need is consistency and discipline that we learned from the previous stages. Consistency in savings and discipline in making sure or making it a point na wala kang naiiwang pending bills or pending debts like credit cards. Because your liabilities stay zero, all your savings goes into your assets. This is the correct way to build wealth. Unti-unti mo na natitikman yung lasa ng financial freedom dahil you don't owe anybody. Sa stage na to, mo marirealize or magkakaroon ng light bulb moment na every peso you save today could be worth 5 pesos after a few months or after a few years. By delaying what you can purchase today, you are giving yourself a chance for a much bigger purchase in the future. Every peso na masasave mo today will go directly into your future goals and needs. Sa momentum stage din, because you are debt-free, you are able to budget more freely. You have the liberty of creating additional buckets. So for example, dati you can only afford to create a bucket for bills payment and then another bucket for groceries or food. Pero ngayon, may ability ka na to set aside budget for a travel bucket or maybe a splurge bucket na pwede mong gamitin for anything that you like in the future. Your net worth is finally positive in this stage. You have zero liabilities and you have a decent amount in your total asset value. Unfortunately, most Filipinos settle or are stuck in this stage. Wala silang utang or liabilities, which is good, pero yung assets nila are not working hard enough for them. It could be due to a lack of education or awareness na meron pang other stages after this. Pero ayun, kahit positive na yung net worth mo at this stage, I want to remind you to dream bigger. May next stages pa and we can reach these levels by continuing what we've been doing in the past 3 stages and then scaling them up. The fourth step in financial independence is what I call compounding stage. Itong stage is not that much different from stage 3 except naka-scale up yung investments and savings. In other words, congratulations kasi you have learned the basics of personal finance. In this stage, dahil more than enough na yung monthly salary mo to cover your daily living expenses, combined with the idea of not falling into the trap of lifestyle inflation, patuloy lang na patuloy ang growth ng assets and investments mo. Also, dahil wala namang need to liquidate or convert into cash itong mga assets, any profit that you get from this are immediately added on top of those existing assets. This is what we mean when we say, after working hard for your money, make your money work hard for you. Your assets are compounding faster and faster until they reach a point where they will be able to generate passive income. Itong passive income can take the form of capital gains or fixed income. In the simplest sense, capital gains is simply buying low and then selling high later on, regardless of the asset class. Tapos, ang fixed income naman can come in the form of dividend income from stocks, preferred shares or REITs or real estate investment trusts, or pwede ring rental income kung may apartment ka na pinapaupahan or any kind of real estate that generates regular cash flow for you. Pag nandito ka sa compounding stage, meron kang high positive net worth. Your assets most likely include stocks, bonds, real estate, pag-ibig MP2, and other financial instruments. In other words, you are diversified enough and protected ka in case of rainy days kung saan posibleng magbagsakan sabay-sabay yung mga investments mo. Yung mga pinili mong assets ay negatively correlated din. This means pag bumagsak yung isang asset, tataas naman yung kabila, and vice versa. Just to give you an example of negatively correlated assets, nandyan yung US stocks versus gold. Historically speaking, pag nagkakaroon ng correction or bearish market in the US equities, lumilipat yung mga investors in precious metals market, specifically gold. They are protecting their capital by moving it from a bad performing asset into a good performing one. Ang tawag ng mga investors dito ay creating a weatherproof portfolio. And because your portfolio is weatherproof, wala ka nang iisipin kundi mag-add lang na mag-add to continue and sustain your exponential growth. Finally, the fifth stage in financial freedom is freedom! When you reach this stage, pwede ka na mag-quit sa 9-to-5 work mo and never worry about money again. Your assets and investments generate more than enough passive income to cover your daily living expenses and for you to enjoy life. And going back sa personal definition ko ng pagiging financially free sa start nitong video, when I reach this stage, I would be able to eat anything without looking at the price tag. Friendly reminder lang na dapat hindi tayo kumakayod para lang sa pera dahil more and more money is not the goal. We will use money to buy freedom for us because freedom is the goal. Sa freedom stage, sobrang taas na ng net worth mo and you can choose not to work again a single day in your life. The key word here is choose because hindi naman ito required. Hindi mandatory to quit your job to achieve financial freedom. The point is, hindi ka na entirely dependent on your salary to fully enjoy life. This stage will enable you to move to a job na gustong-gusto mo talaga kasi it fulfills your passion regardless of the salary. Any amount of salary at this stage is bonus na lang para sa atin. Sobrang layo na nang natating mo compared to the survival mode or the stage 1 kasi at this stage, hindi ka na nagtatrabaho to survive because you are literally getting paid to do your passion. So even though ang norm sa Pilipinas ay to work and save until 60 years old and may kakayahan na tayo mag-retire, enjoy life, enjoy the savings. In this channel, hindi yan ang ating goal. It is super possible to achieve financial independence ng mas maaga. And yan yung goal ko for my career, for my journey, and for my family. Mahirap ba? Yes. Pero posible ba? Syempre. So ito guys, yung 5 stages of financial freedom. Let's stop talking in terms of mayaman, mahirap, and middle class and start using these stages that we talked about. Survival mode, discipline, momentum, compounding, and freedom. Share mo naman sa comment section kung nasang stage ka na and where do you see yourself after 6 months. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing because I release a video every Sunday about personal finance, trading, and investing. And I'll see you next week.